This is question 2, chapter 3. If a local university leader was to ask me how to get a more diverse pool of highly qualified faculty applicants, I would start with asking him to clarify the level of diversity expectations. So, is this just demographic? Is it socioeconomic in nature, gender specific, or simply individuals with diverse resumes? Then shift the focus from just increasing diversity to expanding access to talent. First, I'd want to take a look at the university's public image. We know that the socialization process begins well before an applicant ever submits a resume. So ensuring that the university's website, online job boards, social media presence, any recent publications offer an up-to-date and attractive story for a broad range of applicants. Next, I'd start looking at where the university is recruiting from. Research in IO psychology shows that companies typically limit their applicant pools through narrow recruitment processes, and in this particular situation, many times faculty come from internal sources like existing students, those with personal connections to the school or department, and a lot of times even family donors. However, if you wanted to expand beyond those methods, you'd need to limit that bottleneck and leverage new advertising and recruiting sources. Easy way to do these are through online job boards, promoting at industry events, and even working with niche recruiters. You could also take an active approach to setting an internal standard or metric. So for example, maybe right now 80% of your faculty members come from internal sources, and you want to get to more of a 50-50 model where you say, hey, 50% of our recruiting is going to come from internal and 50% is going to be external. Really whatever works for the organization, but setting a standard is a good place to start. And then before posting any job listings, I would advise the university to do an audit on their job descriptions to make sure the language isn't disqualifying or discriminating in nature. There's a 2023 study that suggests overly restrictive requirements can discourage qualified applicants from applying, and this especially impacts women and members of underrepresented groups. There's also this really popular statistic out there that says if a man is 30% qualified for a job listing, he will apply. But if a female saw that same listing and she didn't feel that she was at least 70% qualified, she would not apply. So this is just an example of how important it is to make sure the job listing is clear and intentional, and this will ensure you're attracting a broader range of qualified candidates. Finally, I would greatly emphasize that recruitment is only one part of the socialization process. It's so important to remember that candidates are evaluating you as much as you're evaluating them. So I would also focus on ensuring that the university has opportunities for fair compensation and benefits, support through onboarding and training, continued education and development initiatives, as well as career growth and mentorship opportunities. This will help applicants determine whether your university is a place that they can succeed and be happy long term. And then in conclusion, I would recommend, tying this all together, that one, reviewing the university's public image to ensure that it's inclusive and welcoming. 2, expand recruitment channels to expose yourself to a broader range of candidates. 3, audit the job requirements and make sure there's no unnecessary language. And 4, re-engage with the entire socialization process to make sure that the candidate will be attracted to you from beginning to end. And then by applying these evidence-based principles, your university can increase both the diversity and quality of your candidates while strengthening its ability to attract top talent.